Episode 7 is the best episode yet. Better than Game of Thrones. That's what social media is saying. But is it really? We have one funeral, one wedding, and one eye closed. We're going to break down this week's episode of House of the Dragon. It's the Watchers on the Couch. Welcome back to Watchers on the Couch. Today we are discussing the HBO hit series, House of the Dragon, a Game of Thrones story. This is episode 7, entitled Driftmark. I'm Tim.
And I'm Mike.
And if you are new to the show, which you're probably not at this point, but maybe you are, how it goes is Mike and I will get into our initial thoughts about the episode. Then we go into our full recap as we try to derail each other with jokes and silly bullshit as we get way too pedantic in our analysis of this show. We'll follow it up with the mailbag. We do our post-recap theories, speculations, things like that. Then we get into our mailbag. All right, Mike, our initial thoughts. You went first the last couple weeks. I guess I will go first this time. I hate most of this episode. And I'm in the minority, apparently, by a lot, because everything on social media is like, this episode's amazing. Even our peer Game of Thrones podcasts that we listen to. I listened to the instant takes before this for a few of them, and they were all like, such an amazing episode. It's like, are we watching the same thing? Because I feel like, I don't know. The acting is great. Again, I cannot say enough good things about the acting in this show. And there's some good scenes. Like there's the second act is pretty solid, but man, it just bookends with a lot of bullshit that I can't stand. We have a kid throwdown where a bunch of kids beat the shit out of each other, which is great. The aftermath in the hall is very good. I felt the tension in that. But then, man, this Daemon and Rhaenyra shit, I can't fucking stand it. And we lose Laenor in this episode. So again, no investment in any of the characters or what happens to anyone. And I don't think the time jump did this show any favors. Mm-hmm. And it just highlights the fact that season 1's just dicking us around until season 2, where the show actually starts. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just hate everything now. I'm an old man and I'm grumpy and I'm getting into arguments with people on Twitter. What did you think, Mike?
I don't think you're wrong.
Okay.
I texted you like, yeah, I was bored out of my mind this episode. I was fast forwarding through a few parts.
What?
So like on HBO Max, there's like a 10-second skip or 10 or 15. I think it might be 10, but like, so I was just doing that because, like during the Aemon scene when he goes to get the dragon, riding the dragon, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it. He got the dragon. So this is one reason I don't want to watch the next ons because I kind of figured like, you know, once I knew, I wasn't sure it was going to be him. But once I found out it was him, I'm like, okay, he has the dragon. Okay, doing a little dragon riding. He's going to whatever. And a couple other parts, the Rhaenyra and Daemon scene, I fast forwarded through that too. Like I'm not going to miss anything. Like,
right.
This means nothing to me. How the fuck is this romantic? Like,
they try so hard.
Yes, they're trying really hard to make it that way.
And they're like, oh, it's sensual, and they're teasing, and everybody's getting horny at home. It's like, fuck, no, I'm not. Yeah. I know a lot of people are. Yeah. I see it on the Facebook meme groups. Man, a lot of women, they are way into this niece uncle stuff.
Man, what a connection they have. Oh wow.
That was another thing. It's like, yeah, everybody's talking about the chemistry between the new Rhaenyra actor with Emma Darcy. Okay. Emma Darcy and Matt Smith. It's like, I don't feel much connection between them.
No, we just met them last episode. Yeah. Like, in a sense, I mean, at least the adult actors. Obviously, fucking Daemon doesn't age, so...
Yeah.
But I don't know. So anyway, yeah, even fast forwarding through a bit, like I said, I was pretty bored through this whole episode. Like I felt it was a little long and drawn out. The beginning was real boring to me. It's one of the first things in my notes. I'm like, God, this is so fucking slow. And then on my next watch, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have fast forward. Maybe there were a few little things I missed. No, I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything. I really didn't. So, but I was only through those few parts. Like, I went into otherwise. Like, I don't know. I just felt I knew what was happening in a couple of those scenes.
So. Get on with it. This could have been a half-hour episode.
And it was dark as shit, and I could barely see anything.
Oh,
had to turn my lights off. And I know my TV could be better, but it's definitely not the worst TV there is. But I don't know. Even with my lights off, and I can see it, and it's clear, but I don't think it's still bright enough on people's faces. Was it for you?
Well, I usually dim all the lights when I watch TV at night, just because I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to get invested. We're going to dim the lights and we're going to watch it. So, and it's also dark now outside when the show comes on. So, it wasn't too terribly bad for me. I can see what other people were saying, and then there was there's a promo picture, like before the show even aired, of is it Emma Darcy? Is that her name? Their name? Sorry.
I think so.
With her and them and Damon or Matt Smith on the beach in that scene. And it's daytime in that shot. So what they're doing is they filmed it at daytime and then they put a night filter over it. And the comparison between the two is nuts. It's like, geez. I don't know. I don't know why
plenty of fucking lighting.
I don't know why they choose.
Sun.
I don't know why they choose to do it that way. If it's like, well, it's realistic. It's the night outside. It's like, I got the gist in the Two Towers when they had a fight scene at night where everybody's well lit.
It's pointless. Like there's like when Rhaenyra and Daemon are walking along the beach, like I can barely make out Daemon's face. So I can barely make out his facial expression. So I'm missing a lot there between the two when they were walking side by side and talking. I don't know. It seems silly. It didn't look bad. Like, sure, it looked like kind of realistic, but that's fucking pointless and stupid. And you're missing a whole lot by not lighting their faces, things that need to be shown.
For sure.
But, whatever. That's not even really a big complaint. Like, I was just annoyed by that. I was like, God damn it, I got to turn my fucking lights off. Like, and it wasn't that big deal. I just had to get up and fucking, hit a switch. So, not that big a deal.
And it's that Sapochnik guy. The guy that's leaving, who also did the Game of Thrones episode that nobody could see. Like I guess this is just a stylistic choice he makes, that he doesn't really want anybody to watch his episodes.
I guess he's on Team Black because he has to have the whole screen black. So
black you can't see it.
But I don't think you're wrong about I don't know, not liking this episode or not enjoying this season, to be honest. But I don't hate this show.
No, me neither.
So it's like I'm annoyed and I'm disappointed,
Yes.
And that disappointment is the annoyance of the disappointment, I guess, or it's going to come out as anger. So if I'm start bitching about this show, but it hasn't led to hate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yoda. Disappointment leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
Hate leads to cancellation.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this plays out. I'm hoping that they get me back in. But I don't care about any of these people. I said this last episode that like it's kind of like Succession, and it's a bunch of rich fucks that like I don't give a shit. I could watch them all die horrible deaths right now and be satisfied. Like, neat. Fuck them.
Well, that was the thing, is like I was getting some pushback online because it's like, is there any likable characters in this? Like, are we ever going to get any of those? I was like, well, it's not a soap opera and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. Like, that's what any TV show is. Like, it's called a drama. It's a soap opera. This is a soap opera. And you need characters like, and when I say, are there any characters that we can get behind? The other thing is like, well, that's the point of the Dance of Dragons. There are no good guys. It's like, I don't mean like pure good people. I don't need that. I need somebody to empathize with, somebody that I can get behind, somebody that I can relate to. So I care about their character. So I'm invested in the story. Otherwise, it's not a story. It's just, here's some shit that happened.
I 100% agree. Like, 100%. Because I hate that reaction that people have too. It's like, oh, well, this isn't supposed to have a happy ending. And then it's about all these characters are not all good people. I'm like, well, I don't give a shit. You know?
No.
I don't know. They're like,
I don't care if it has a happy
it's all
ending.
from book readers too. So, you know, they push back a lot. So.
Yeah. I was told that I'm neither intelligent enough nor and I'm ill-equipped to discuss this show on Twitter.
You're not funny nor insightful.
That was So I guess that's a take. I mean, we've been doing it long enough. I feel differently. I don't know if I don't know if it's just me and I'm getting more grumpy or if shows are getting worse. I feel like since the pandemic, shows have gotten sloppy.
I don't know. I'm enjoying Rings of Power a whole lot.
I'm still not caught up with that, but yeah, I would say, and this is another thing, because if you even say you like Rings of Power, Jesus Christ, I'll fucking come after you.
Oh well, those are all the fucking Tolkien nerds. They can suck it.
It's both the super Tolkien nerds and the super Westeros nerds talking about how the Targaryens are more believable elves than the elves in Middle Earth. I was like, you don't know shit about Middle Earth. I don't care what you say. It doesn't even matter.
It's a different story.
It's a completely different
way to. Yeah, it's a different world. You know, I find it very enjoyable.
Yeah, I can't say
I didn't think I would either. So
right.
I was surprising that I really enjoy it.
I was very negative on Rings of Power when I was excited about the prospect because they announced it about the same time Game of Thrones wrapped up and we talked about it. Oh, we're going to cover it. Well, we didn't cover it because it came out at the same time as House of the Dragon. But when I saw the trailer, it's like, oh man, this show's going to be dog shit. I'm not looking forward to this at all. And then I saw it, the first episode, like, oh, this was pretty good. And then I think I didn't see last Friday's episode. So I think that was, I don't know how many episodes we're at now. I think I've seen 5 episodes.
I think 5 was the last one.
Oh, 5 was then I've seen 4 episodes.
Okay. I look forward to watching that show. I don't really look forward to watching the show that much.
Yes.
I still want to watch it.
Yes.
But I'm not like, man, I can't wait for it to come out. Like I could wait for these next episodes to all come out and then just binge them real quick and be like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I feel the same way. It's not that this show is bad. Mm-hmm. It's just not doing its part to hook you the same way Game of Thrones did. So, like, I can't say that, like, I'm not going to sit here and say Rings of Power is better than House of the Dragon because it's a fucking stupid thing to say. It's 2 completely different types of fantasy. Like, the slowness of Rings of Power, because you can say both of these shows are really fucking slow. Yes. But in Rings of Power, it does it a service because that's kind of it's Tolkien, it's Lord of the Rings. Even the trees walk in it. So it's that's the pacing of that world, and it works for that. But also, yes, the characters in Rings of Power seem to be more interesting and more compelling to me. So so I'm not going to say Rings of Power is better than House of the Dragon. What I will say is I'm enjoying Rings of Power more than I'm enjoying House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I concur.
But at any rate,
eventually we'll get to recapping this. So
yes, let's jump into it right now. So as we start the show, we open up on Driftmark as we see Elena's casket getting ready to plunge into the sea, and I think you're shaking your head already, Mike.
Yeah. Dude, how many caskets do they drop in this thing? Like, eventually the caskets are going to fucking pile up to where they're just under sea level, and there's going to be a funeral. It's going to be real sad, and they're going to dump it off. And it's going to go clunk, clunk. Like, crap.
I mean, I guess maybe the sea carries them away at some point, but yeah, she does hit the bottom in this shot.
I think there's other caskets down there too.
No.
It kind of looks like it. It's kind of hard to see, but looks like it.
It's hard to see. It's dark under the ocean.
Yeah.
And I think, is this Corliss's brother that's giving the eulogy? It's hard for me to recognize him without armor.
I think so. I try not to pay attention to it because it was, more dumb Valerian bullshit. So,
well, it's not the dumbest Valerian bullshit. Boy, do I have a problem with some of the Valerian bullshit later in this episode, and I'm wondering if you picked up on it too.
I also don't care about Lyanna dying. I think this was almost presented as like, whoa, this is a real big deal, or like, oh, you should care about it. And I'm like, I fucking just saw her one episode, like for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
I think it's more.
It's more about the other characters, I know, and them interacting and being together, but whatever.
So Corliss's brother is giving the eulogy here in High Valerian, and he's low-key throwing shade at Laenor and Rhaenyra's kids by saying their blood runs thick and true in Laena's kids and must never thin. And even Viserys...
blood is thicker than Lord Corlys's dick.
Oh, it's thick with...
the sea snake.
Our blood is thick with 2 C's.
And thick with salt. His cock is, his semen. Mm.
And even Viserys, who's still alive, Mike, is glancing around at this towards Rhaenyra. Mm-hmm. Like everybody knows, but fucking Daemon laughs. He's like, yeah, they're white as fuck.
I think Daemon laughed the same time I did because I was like, this is stupid. What's happening? It's
like, is this like really the appropriate place to be fucking talking about bastard kids or like throwing the allegation at it?
There are some people that do laugh in situations where they're not supposed to. It's like this weird reaction.
Yeah.
That comes out when you're not. Oh God, somebody died.
I mean that's the reaction I have to when I hear a lot of unfortunate things, is I have to make a joke about it because it's how I deal with it. Because
there's some people like Lord Larry that laughs when people die, but it's a little different. Hey, Allison, look at me! Look, we got away with it. Nobody knows.
Everybody's standing right here. He's there like staring at her, and Kristen Cole's like, Lord, when he said this, I missed it because I thought he said Lord Lionel Strong's is staring at you, and I'm like, what? And then she goes, it's because Larys's height. It's like, did he really misspeak that name and they fucking missed it when they edited the show? And then on rewatch, he says Lord Larys's son.
Oh,
Lord Lionel's son, not Lord Lionel Strong is staring at you. It's like, holy fuck, that's worse than a coffee cup. That's worse than 3 green fingers on your hand. But that was just me. That was me not paying attention or not hearing. Maybe Kristen Cole is a mush mouth. Like I do.
Me too.
But God knows how many minutes of this. It's just people looking at each other.
Giving dirty looks.
Dirty looks, come fuck me looks.
All right. So I'm before I forget, I want to say something. So I think I figured Daemon out. All right.
Okay.
'Cause he's I know what his problem is. Sometimes when I see him looking at his brother Viserys, he's giving him fuck me eyes.
Yes.
Daemon wants to fuck his brother. That's why he acts the way he does. He never was able to fuck his brother,
Hey, go attend your brother.
Fuck your brother.
Yeah, because that's the thing everybody else was saying. Oh, the looks that Daemon was giving Rhaenyra. It's like, that's the same looks he gives everybody. That's how he looks.
Yeah.
All the time. He's smug and smarmy. No, the only person that was giving fuck me looks was Rhaenyra. Daemon was just looking the same as he always does.
Mm-hmm.
But
Rhaenyra goes up to Jace and is like, have you seen your father? And he's like, wait, Daddy's still alive and he's here? What? No, that's not what I meant. Oh, do you mean like his ghost? Yeah, I've seen his ghost over there. And it's like, huh? No, I'm just fucking kidding. You fucking whore. You know what this shit does to us? Huh? Yeah.
We're traumatized for life.
She's like, that would be inappropriate. You know what would be inappropriate? If you fuck somebody other than your than your husband.
Hey, they had an agreement. It was okay.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, but it's not okay for those kids. Those kids are screwed because Rhaenyra wanted pleasure.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Jace is told to go comfort Laena's kids, or Laena and Daemon's kids, the late Laena's kids, the Valyrian formerly known as Laena. And Jay says they should be mourning the Strongs. And yeah, she's like, that wouldn't be appropriate right now. So.
And he's like, well, at least we still got our fake daddy to take care of us and love us.
So, meanwhile, Helena or Helena, whatever the fuck her name is. The other thing that I have noticed, that up until this episode, we haven't heard them speak the names of Laena and Daemon's children. And even in this episode, they only mention Baela. The only reason I know the other kid is named Rhaena, which, by the way, fucking Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, Rhea Royce, Rhaena, fuck you. Come on. What are you doing?
Yep.
The only reason I know that is because I had to look it up.
And then, in my notes, I was just like, oh, yeah, that dumb girl is talking weird. And then, then I remembered her name because I never hear it, Helena. So
Helena's giving another Easter egg prophecy as Aegon and Daemon discuss how apparently Aegon is betrothed to her now. So Aegon's like, we have nothing in common. And Aemon's like, she's our sister. You guys share chromosomes. Isn't that enough for you? Aemon says he'd marry her and do his duty if only Mother had betrothed them, instead to keep the family strong and pure. Which, fuck. Again, last I checked, Alicent isn't a goddamn Targaryen, Mike. So, aside from the bastard angle, their blood is no more or less pure than Rhaenyra and Harwin's kids. So, or Daemon and Laena's. This doesn't... Everything about this, kid thing, the heritage of these kids, feels real fucking weak.
Yeah, well, yeah. Because it is. Yeah. And then Aegon's like, we have one thing in common. We both fancy creatures with long legs. Aemon's like a giraffe, or flamingo. I don't know, maybe like a deer or a secretary bird. Yeah, that long legs, those secretary birds. Huh? A maned wolf? Maned wolf, yeah.
So Aegon goes off to get another drink, which apparently is something he does a lot now. And I think in this episode, I think Aegon's the one that I feel the most sorry for at the moment, because I'm sure that won't last. I'm sure he's going
to bed. Everybody in this episode, go to fucking bed. Why doesn't everybody go in bed or stay in bed? Rhaenyra and Daemon, go to bed. Not like that. You fucking weirdos.
So far, Aegon has basically been abused by both his mother and his grandfather over not wanting to be king. Now he's engaged to his sister, which he's also not keen on. So no wonder he fucking drinks all the time. Let this kid stay home and jerk off.
Yeah.
Speaking of his grandfather, Otto is back and in attendance as Hand of the King. No.
I have a little hand of the king.
Right over my nipples. Yeah. But no explanation on that. And I really would have wanted to see how that conversation with the king went, considering how he gets fucking booted out to begin with.
It is, yeah. It is a little odd that there has to be more. There has to be tons of other people he could choose, but whatevs.
Yeah, the other Lannister, the not Jason Lannister.
Daemon goes up to him and is like, yeah, the king always needs an Otto man to rest his feet upon.
Yes. That's what he should have said. Before we get to that part, this is where Cole tells Alicent that Larys has been looking at her blatantly, this unabashedly, is what he said this entire time. And Alicent's is like, oh, it's just because he's the Lord of Harrenhal now. So, seemingly, Cole doesn't know about their association, which I don't think he'd be that fucking outraged if he did know what her and Laris did. But so far, it's a secret just between them.
Does anybody find it a little odd that fucking creepy Larry isn't back at home for his fucking dad's and brother's funeral?
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't even think of that. But why? Like, why was he invited to this one to begin with? Is like, what association does he have with any of this?
He's like, I'll make it back later for that one.
He probably didn't. He probably wasn't invited. He probably just showed up. He crashed. I don't know how he got there, but he crashed. I mean, at least gets a ride back with the king, but
he made up a fake invite.
Yeah.
No, see, I got this invite, huh?
I'm Allison's +1. Just like, no. Allison's the king's +1. I'm Kristen Cole's +1.
Yeah.
I'm actually only +0.5 because I'm missing a leg. So Corlys is telling Luke, I think, that while Jace will be king one day, Luke will be Lord of Driftmark and rule the sea. And Luke says that he doesn't want it. He's not interested in that. He's not interested in that or tapestries. And business time. I don't want. Business time says it's his birthright. To which Luke says, if he's Lord of Driftmark, that means everyone else is dead. So Luke's a pretty smart kid. And we get a good shot of Corlys after Luke walks away reacting to that, which is great. There's a lot of good subtle acting in here, even if it's boring. But like Corlys is great. I think Corlys is still my favorite character in the show. It's a lot more of people just looking at each other after that. Rhaenys completely blows off Rhaenyra because she has bastard children, I guess. Jace and Aemon look at each other from across the brazier. Then Rhaenyra is making eyes at Daemon, which is still fucking gross. We have Laenor out in the water moping, which seems to piss his father off for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Pisses his father off because Laenor's pissing in the ocean.
So he tells...
That's right where we buried your sister, fucker.
It's a victimless crime.
He's crying. It's like, but it feels so good.
But the water's so cold.
I'm so free.
I'm just trying to heat the water up a little bit. So he tells Carl to go get him.
Pool.
Tells Carl to go get him. Go fetch your patron. Then Viserys makes eyes at Daemon before finally walking over. He attempts to make peace. He says, hey, it's time for you to return to King's Landing for the 5th time. And there's a place at my court for the 5th time.
Yeah, there's a place in my court for you. Do you mean your butthole? Is this an innuendo? I've been waiting for you to say this for years. No, just in the real court. Oh, well, I don't want it. It's like, oh, the gods are cruel to you, aren't they? It's like, yes, heavy as that wears the crown. No, literally. This thing is fucking solid gold. It's heavy. Cuts the circulation off. Sometimes I forget who my wife is.
I'm hunched over because it's so heavy and I'm weak now. I really wish I didn't have to wear this anymore.
Can we make this thing out of like plastic? Hey, you know what? That crown you made, Damon, I'm going to switch it out. That's going to be the new crown. That one seems very light.
I wonder if Elena can make me a nice light crown out of bug corpses.
Damon, you don't think my face looks like this because I'm old. No, it's because this crown cuts the fucking circulation off from my face. That's why I look like this.
I'm so pale.
Trust me, you don't want the crown, so I'm glad you don't want anything. I'm glad you don't need nothing, or whatever the fuck.
I need nothing from you. So, yeah, Daemon walks off. He doesn't want anything. Otto tells Daemon that he's sorry for his loss, and Daemon says, no matter how fat the leech gets, it always wants another meal, it does. And storms off. So then
no matter what, the leech always wants to suck somebody else off. I mean, shit, that came out wrong. I'll see you tomorrow.
I know my brother likes leeches. I guess we haven't seen Mellos.
His whole fucking arm off.
We haven't seen Mellos since the time jump, so I wonder if he died.
Ooh, possible. Maybe that's why he's still alive.
Because he's actually getting
Maester.
The other Maester's giving him the right treatments now.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, it's still light out, but Rhaenyra sends her boys to bed so she doesn't get cock blocked. And Viserys says he's going to bed because he's got the same bedtime as the kiddos now. But he calls Alicent Emma on the way back, and old
because of that crown cuts the circulation off. Yeah.
And Harold Whitecastle goes, "Are you sure you don't want me to look after Queen Alicent, my lord?" And Viserys is just like, "No," and leaves. It's like, "All right, you've got the watch, Cole. You piece of shit." So, Aegon, after finding the wench, because apparently there's a wench. She's a wench. Yeah. The drink wench. Aegon is drunk on the steps. And then Otto comes up, kicks him in the side, and hauls him up and tells him to go to bed. Go to bed with your broken ribs, you fucking son of a bitch.
Damn it, Grandpa!
And then, meanwhile, I didn't catch this until my second watch, when Aegon gets up. He's like, "Brother?" And it's like, "No, it's your it's your grandpa." But yeah, Aemond is up at the top of the stairs, and I guess he fucking rats out his brother because he's a fucking piece of shit. But we hear a dragon's call, and it's actually the second time we hear it so far. Yeah. And Aemond decides to go pursue it. Meanwhile, Rhaenys and Corlys are in the throne room, and Rhaenys is very much not on Team Daemon or Rhaenyra at the moment, and says that maybe the gods have scorned them for their pride, or Corlys's pride, to have his line on the throne at the expense of their children. Corlys is like, "What is the point of this?" I forgot what it was. "What is the point of this meager life, short life, something, if not for legacy?" And Rhaenys wants Driftmark to go to Laena instead of Luke, so it stays with Valerian blood. And Corlys is against the idea of disinheriting their son and casting an even darker shadow on Rhaenyra's children. And Rhaenys is like, "Listen, we can say the truth here. Rhaenyra's children aren't of your blood. Fuck them." And meanwhile,
business time is like, "They all look the same to me." Covers his eyes.
He does seem to be a little shaken at the moment. Meanwhile, this show is, I don't remember how many minutes long, but at least 30% of this is just telling the viewer again that the kids are bastards. Like different people saying the same shit over and over about these kids.
Yeah, but I guess I thought the scene was probably important just because it shows Rhaenys. Yeah.
It shows her that Rhaenys isn't that great.
Kind of on opposite sides about how they feel about things and how they want to continue.
But yeah, Corlys seems to be like upset. He's shook when it's said out loud, but like we know he knows it. But then he resolves himself by saying, "History doesn't remember blood; it remembers names." Like walks away.
Names, great names like Sea Snake. Came up with that one myself.
Even the dragons have names. Bloodworm. But yeah, so here we go, Mike. Here's the fun stuff. Rhaenyra and Daemon are on the beach. Yeah. She tells Daemon that she did try to have kids with Laenor, but it didn't work. His dick fell off.
Yeah, come on. How could you not make that happen? You can make it happen. Like, I could come out with a few different scenarios that would make it work. All right. But okay. No, I'm not going into it.
Rhaenyra, can you cut your hair a little shorter?
No, I'm not going into it. And that's what Laenor said to Rhaenyra.
Then the conversation goes to Harwin Strong, and she says she should have ordered him not to return to Harrenhal. And already the tales of the curse of Harrenhal are afoot, and Daemon says all that shit is ghost stories that the Hightowers will exploit. And Rhaenyra's like, I don't believe Alicent is capable of cold-blooded murder. Okay.
Because she's not. Because it's
Laris, creepy Laris,
no.
that's me. Oh man, I'm so creepy.
Man,
The only thing that distracts me from the pain in my leg is causing the pain of others.
wow, Laris, you sound
Things I love in life: killing and murdering.
Laris, you sound an awful lot like Bernard from Westworld.
Oh, hey, it's just me, Bernard.
It's me, sexy ass Bernard.
It's just me, sexy ass Larry. Sexy ass Larry's. Yep.
Meanwhile, Helena is the fucking Bernard of this show.
Oh my god, she kind of is. Spiders. Yes. Oh, you know what? Crispy called Rhaenyra a spider.
Yep.
And then Helena traps that spider in a clam.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that? That's foreshadowing is that Rhaenyra is going to get stuck in Allison's clam and she's going to die. Something's
gonna close over Rhaenyra. She's gonna go to jail. she's gonna get eaten. Then Rhaenyra's like, I want you. And then shit gets gross and they make out on the beach and she's all like, I'm not a child anymore. It's like, oh. They have sex.
Uncle.
Oh god. And then they have sex and it's super gross. I don't care what the rest of the fandom says, man. You fucking people need therapy. And you don't get to play it's fiction, and that's how it's done in that world. It doesn't fly. There's a whole lot of things that are done in that world that are yucky that don't get a pass. So just admit that you have an uncle fucker fetish and talk to somebody. Which brings us to the sponsor of this episode, Better Health. No, I'm just kidding. They're not a sponsor at all. But for real, all the people on social are like, yes, they finally hooked up and they have such chemistry. It's like, I'm in fucking Bizarro World and I'm watching a completely different show than these people. It's like, not only is it the same way, the scene is super awkward and cringy, and most of the Rhaenyra and Daemon stuff is cringy to me in this episode, especially the whole High Valyrian dialogue before they get married. Mike, I fucking hate that shit so much.
They have sex in this abandoned ship, this crashed abandoned ship, and you know what? I'm abandoning their ship. Right?
I do not. Shipping. We're not shipping this. The thing that really pisses me off about this is that this kind of shows that everybody's right about Rhaenyra. Not only is it the fucking worst timing, you're at this funeral for your uncle's wife. The poor deceased's family is all there, and everybody is there. Everybody that matters is there, and you're like, let's fuck on the beach. Jesus Christ!
She's like, I don't care. I do what I want. I need pleasure.
Tame this pussy, uncle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh. Man, she's been waiting for that for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, she looks like she's having a
Targaryen womp, man.
She looks like she's having a real good time in this scene.
I couldn't tell you because I couldn't really see it. So
she's just fucking staring at the ceiling.
I know. Yeah, I'm not down with it. I find it still gross. It's weird. You know, though, I was thinking about this because we're watching Game of Thrones, and when Jon and his aunt got together,
Daenerys.
It didn't seem as weird.
They didn't know each other. I don't know if it was
because, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, why didn't it? Is it because both of them are very good looking? And I was just like, no, go ahead and guys get naked. And
well, I mean, I definitely.
No, I still thought it was weird, but this is different. I feel uncomfortable this time
because I
thought it was weird with them.
It's because they know. John didn't know, and as soon as John found out, he fucking I can't fuck you. We have chromosomes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The seed isn't strong with my hair, but why doesn't he have?
Because that would give it away. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah,
know?
obviously, sure.
What are you gonna do? But then it fucks everything up as far as like, yes, Joffrey, black off hair.
It does. It fucks it up because if the father, if we're following the seed is strong with the father, then John not having silver hair or whatever color that hair is supposed to be is a plot hole, or it's plot armor. It's a convenient deviation from the lore that they're establishing in this show.
Do we know that his dad had blonde hair? Or silver hair?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay. Or is he actually a descendant of the Strongs? Because I don't know how the story ends.
Yeah, well, there's that. No, I'm pretty sure. I feel like we see him in a flashback.
I thought so too.
Where he has silver hair. When they're getting married. When Bran sees him get married. Yeah, he's got silver hair.
And don't we see him take her away too?
I don't remember.
Anyway, back to this show.
Now back to the good part. So this is where we get into the good stuff in this episode. So this is where Aemon goes off to tame Vhagar, and they tease us twice with the possibility of, while he's trying to climb up Vhagar, of him getting his twat ass killed, but he doesn't. Vhagar lets him on, and Aemon gets him to take off. And they fly around. It's like a 5-minute scene of him just dicking around trying to get to this dragon.
Oh crap! Oh, no.
I did the calculate. It's literally like a 5-minute scene of him just getting on the dragon. And
oh man, I was really, really, really hoping that he'd fucking fall off.
After almost,
and it'd be like a cartoon, you know. We'd see it from behind, see him fall down,
makes a little poof, like the Wile E. Coyote.
Or if he was flying, like that took me a little off guard when those birds came in. I was like, I wish he was just like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Bird strike.
Birds hit the wing of the dragon and the wing explodes. And he goes into the...
All those birds, they're just like, what a beautiful night to fly with everybody. A fucking dragon. Dude, that's a free meal for Vhagar. Like, Vhagar just opened his mouth. It's like a blue whale, but in the sky.
Yeah.
You know?
It's Vhagar's got her. I almost said him. Vhagar's got her mouth open, like she's like some of these book readers on the ground at King's Landing, waiting for fucking Aegon's maybe babies to come raining down on them so they can gobble it up in their mouth. Say, yum yum, dragon daddy, give me more. I don't want to listen to anything criticize. I don't want to hear any critiques of this show.
Fucking Aemon fucking woke up Vhagar. Vhagar was just dreaming about fucking Bloodworm, you know?
Yeah.
You had to wake him up. Like, hello, Miss Dragon? I've come to make a claim. You my claim. This is not fucking customer service. There's no claims here.
Vhagar is actually not my real name. Vhagar translates to Pussy Galore. All dragons sound like Sean Connery, in case you didn't know that. There.
Yep.
Dragonheart establishes that.
Yep.
Instead of calling me dragon and
if we could travel back then, you know, we would hear them talk like Sean Connery.
Where's Dennis Quaid in this show? Instead of calling me dragon in your tongue, you want to call me dragon in some other tongue.
I do have something real quick, just as like, so it almost looked like Vhagar was about to go into the water until Aemon pulled up. Like, pull up. Would do these dragons, are they just real dum-dums? Like, would Vhagar would have just slowly went underwater until Aemon pulled up?
Boy, I hope so.
Like, it was like, yeah, fine.
Well, dragons can probably go underwater just fine. But yeah, if she drowned his ass, that would have been funny. It's like, you thought you tamed me? Glub, glub, motherfucker.
Can you pull up?
Oh, man. So Daemon's daughters hear and then see Vhagar take off, and they go to wake up Jace. Yep. But not before another 3 minutes of watching Aemon just fly around and almost crash into the water. So Jace, Luke, Baela, and Rhaena I think those are all the names, step out in time to see Eamon come back. And they're like, it's him. And he's like, yeah, it's me. I've got that new dragon big cock swagger. Mm-hmm. Raina, is it Raina? Yeah, I think it's Raina who's super pissed. And she's like, that's my mother's dragon. And Eamon's like, my wife's dead. No, I'm sorry. Your mom's dead. And you should have bonded to him. So go fly a pig.
And then the Disney movie starts. Because we have dead parents, and now the kids go on their journeys.
Yeah, Dead Parent Society.
Yep. Start of every Disney movie. Dead parents.
So Raina runs up, tries to grab him. He throws her to the ground, and then Bela fucking clocks him. That's a good punch. And then he clocks her. That is also a good
punch back.
Yeah, that's also a good punch. And then Jace and Luke get involved, but Jace can't fight for shit. Jace really sucks.
Sure does.
And then Luke gets his nose broken but then Eamon gets shoved down, and then everybody starts fucking clobbering him, but not very well because he's able to fight his way out. Eamon grabs Luke by the throat and is like going to bash his head in with a rock and calls them bastards. And then Jace draws a knife.
He has that rock. He's like, all right, who's ready to rock? He's like, he grabs him by the neck. He's like, you want to smell what the rock is cooking? Smash! Right into his nose.
Oh,
you smell that now?
That is stone cold.
Oh, he's like, I didn't know this was a party. You guys want to get stoned? How about smashed, huh?
Oh, God, just feed us to your dragon already.
Baby!
So,
and after he knocks him down, he's like, looks like you've hit rock bottom.
Oh, no. Dun-dun-dun. Wait, no, I forgot that. I keep forgetting I have that. Nope, that's drum roll. Shit. No, stop. There we go.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was like watching Eamon fly for 5 minutes trying to find that fucking drum hit. So yeah, Jace gets a knife or pulls his knife out and actually fucking tries to slash him across the stomach. So that would have been wild.
Yeah.
But since he fights like shit, he goes down quick. And once again, Eamon's threatening people with his rock, and Luke picks the knife off the ground, and Jace sees that, and then he's like, pocket sand. And Eamon reels back, and Luke swings up and takes Eamon up the face over his left eye, and then the White Cloaks come in and break it up.
It's like the old blood sport trick, you know? That's what I thought about it. He's like,
oh, my eyes. There's dirt in my eyes. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. Now there's only dirt in your eye.
So then we're in then we see Viserys. He's like, how could you allow this to happen? How could you wake me up? It's just like, I need my sleep.
I'm so tired. Spitters. Dude, the King's guards it's hilarious. You're like, very sorry. I mean,
that's what we're supposed to do. Well, it's Cole.
So sorry. I'm really, really, really sorry. No, like, we're really, really sorry.
But it's Cole. Cole being a fucking prick again. He's like, well, the princes were attacked by his own cousin. We've never had to protect princes from other princes. And it's like, fuck off. That's not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we find out that Eamon actually is losing his eye in exchange for the dragon, as his sister foretold. Meanwhile, Alicent physically hits Aegon physically hits Aegon for not being there. He's like, where were you? And he's like, me? The fuck do I have to do with any of this?
You know where I was. Anywhere I go, I jerk it out the windows.
I leave a trail, so if anybody comes looking for me, I don't get lost. Breadcrumbs.
Oh, that was a good one.
Well, thank you. Corlys and Rhaenys come down and like, what the fuck is all this shit? Who the fuck said you guys can come down here and hang out in front of my chair? Then Rhaenyra comes in with Daemon in tow and runs to her kids. And then the accusations start flying. Then Otto takes
and then
note.
Someone in the back goes, "Hey, why are Rhaenyra's clothes all sandy?" Another guy goes, "Oh yeah, Daemon's clothes are sandy too. That's kind of weird."
It's not that weird. There's sand everywhere, you assholes. Shut up.
Well, why is she like...
Everything outside is sand.
Allison's like, "What's wrong, Rhaenyra? Got sand in your vagina." Yeah, don't have sex on the beach.
Don't have sex on the beach. Otto clocks, or takes note. When I say clocks, I mean with his eyes. Sees Daemon come in with Rhaenyra, and then Daemon just casually leans on the door and watches this all play out. He's like, "This has nothing to do with me." Ha ha! Fuck you. So the king commands silence, and Jace tells his mom that Aemon called them bastards, and the king wants answers from Aemon. But Alicent isn't keen on letting her kids speak and keeps deflecting back to Rhaenyra and her kids. And Rhaenyra says they defended themselves and vile insults were thrown at them. And the king asks, "What insults?" And it's like, you fucking know, dude. Like, you haven't been asleep for 10 years.
Faces.
And she's like, "The legitimacy of my son's birth was put to question loudly. This is the highest of treasons, and Aemon
Yes, the highest. No other treasons could possibly be higher. This is the highest one."
Yeah.
See, she fucking should have spoke differently. She went too far. She could have just been like, "This is high treason." She's like, "This is the highest." Really?
The highest
of fucking highest?
No, the highest of treasons would be trying to kill the king. Arguably, what's her face? Alicent stabbing Rhaenyra is a higher treason than...
Yeah. But no biggie.
No bigs.
Everybody back to bed. Oh, good meeting, everyone. Meet here next week. Yes. This meeting in Viserys, like afterwards, and he like kind of just goes off, and you know, it reminded me like of a bad office meeting or something where everybody knows everything's all fucked up, and the boss is just like, you know, no, everything's good, and just ignores all the shit, and the boss doesn't have to deal with anything, but everybody else has to deal with all the bullshit still. Yeah. Good meeting. Convene back here next week, same time.
So
I'm going golfing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a nap.
The king, "I want to play with my toys. I miss my toys." So the king asks Aemon where he heard it, and we know the real answer is Alicent here by Alicent keep trying to deflect. And she asks where Laenor is, and she goes, "He's probably entertaining his young squires," which Cole openly laughs at, because you're right, Mike. I said, you know, maybe Cole doesn't actually hate gay people. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but no, I think he hates gay people. So he like openly, that joke's funny because he's gay. And Harold Whitecastle gives him a look to shut him the fuck up. So the king asks like one last time, and he notices Aemon is looking at Alicent, and he follows his gaze. And it seems like that connection's about to be made. But instead, Aemon throws Aegon completely under the fucking bus. So he goes, for the second time, he's like, "Me? Why the fuck do people keep saying my name?" So Aegon defends his brother and mother and says, "Yeah, we know. Everybody knows. Just look at him." And so instead of laying...
look at them. They got different hair. I mean, come on. How's that possible?
Nobody has different colored hair.
Yeah.
So instead of laying down...
That's why I'm a milkman baby, Tim. All right? Neither of my parents have red hair. All right? And I got 3 older brothers. All right? So mom had 4 boys. 3 of them have red hair. My mom is like Rhaenyra, the milkman.
Oh, no.
If you're watching.
We're on to you, Mom. She comes, and then all of a sudden you get a call on your phone. "This is the highest of treasons." It's like, oh, hang up that phone.
I watched your show.
So the king, instead of laying down any sort of law, Viserys is like, "Everybody needs to make peace, apologize, and hug it out." It's like, wait a fucking minute. Alicent's like, nope, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to need an eye for an eye. And if the king won't seek justice, Alicent will. And she orders Crispy Cole to bring her the eye of Luke. And Viserys tells Cole to stay his hand. And Alicent's like, no, you're sworn to me.
Yeah. This is insufficient, Your Grace. I demand to speak with your manager.
She really Karens it up.
I want his brown eye. I mean, one of his brown eye. You know what I mean.
Choose which of the three. I'll take any. But Crispy Cole says, yeah, I'm sworn to you as a protector, not as an eye gatherer. Which was surprising. I would have thought he would have fucking gone for an eye. But and Viserys says, this shit is over. If anyone questions the heritage of Rhaenyra's sons again, they're going to have their fucking tongues removed. But we know that's not going to stick. So we have 3 more episodes in this season. So everyone starts to turn to leave. Meeting's over. All the meeting pizza that HR bought has been eaten. So everybody's going to go back to work. But Alicent pulls the dagger out from Viserys' belt and comes for Rhaenyra, who grabs her before she can get all stabby. And Cole starts to move forward, despite being ordered not to by Harold. And then we see Daemon just casually bounce off that door and intercept him. And I'm like, yes. Maybe Cole will actually do something and Daemon will kill him here and rid me of this motherfucker. But Daemon just grabs him and Harold tells him to stand down again. And another pair of white cloaks come in and pull him back. So while Rhaenyra and Alicent are struggling, Alicent's all, you get to do whatever you want while I had to fuck your dad. And that isn't fair. And Ray is like, well, everyone can finally see the real you under that mask of righteousness. And this whole time you were just upset that I got to fuck people and your dad put you in a situation where you had to marry my dad. So you're mad at me instead of your old man. And you wished your old man that fucking groomed you to fuck the king wasn't around.
Rhaenyra's
and now he's back. And
you're not mad at me. You're mad at your father. I forgive you.
You're projecting your daddy issues onto me. And then Alicent pulls away and cuts Rhaenyra down the forearm, which could have been dangerous because remember, it's down the road, not across the street.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
But then Aemon, the one-eyed monster, pops up, and then Aegon is like, oh, one-eyed monster? I know what to do with one of them. So he starts shaking him up and down outside of a window. But Aemon says, don't mourn for me, mother. I may have lost an eye, but now I've got the biggest dragon in all the land.
Don't worry, mother. I still have one good eye to look at your pretty face with.
So, last episode, we kind of feel bad for Aemon, even though he is a twat. And then this one, it's like, yeah, fuck this guy too. Like, there's no reason to root for the green team at all, man. Yeah. I mean, the black team sucks, but the green team...
Aemon's going to fuck some shit up as he gets older. He has a dragon.
The biggest dragon.
And he has some balls, man. He can take charge. Like, he's not scared of a fight. Like, yeah, he's gonna cause some trouble. Plus, he's gonna be. It's gonna leave a scar,
Oh yeah,
in his heart. So, Aegon, who knows? Aegon is probably
he's gonna kill Aegon so he can fuck his sister.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, probably.
It's Game of Thrones, man. So Otto visits Alicent, and I'm still pissed that Otto's the hand again. He's just there again as the hand, and we're supposed to accept that given the reason Viserys got rid of him, like he's there, along with why Cole's still alive. Especially in this episode. Mm-hmm. Even in this episode, why is Cole still alive? Dude gets lippy with the king. He laughs at the expense of Laenor's sexuality and disobeyed his Lord Commander. It's like, fucking kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Nope, but he's the Queen's protector.
He's still a white cloak. I mean,
Yeah.
Alicent is like, oh, you're about to tell me that I acted beneath myself and everybody thinks I've gone mad. And he's like, yeah, That's true. But I've never
and
seen
it was fucking awesome.
I've never seen you act that way before. I've got a chubby. You remind me of your mom.
No.
I still want to know what happened to his wife.
Oh, he had to have killed her. Actually, I don't probably think that. I mean, in the very first episode, or maybe the second episode, I definitely thought that. I was like, he definitely killed his wife.
You remember like 2 episodes ago where we thought, well, maybe Otto is the good guy here, and he really cares about the realm. And it's like, yeah, no, I've thought about it some more. Otto's a piece of shit.
Well, why, though? I haven't changed my mind about that. I mean, as far as Game of Thrones good guys go, I mean, he's on, I don't know, the gooder side.
Because he basically every other option outside of him. So he's sending Allison up to the king's room wearing the mom's dress thing, which we thought that was creepy to begin with. But it's like, okay, well, maybe he really was just trying to get the king somebody to talk to. But we combine that with the fact that every other marriage proposal the king had, Otto shot down, or any other heir option. So it was, well, Daemon can't be heir because he's a fucking dumpster fire. Rhaenyra can't be heir because she's a woman. And you can't marry Lena Valerian because Corlys is too ambitious. So it's like everything he's done is to engineer his daughter to be.
Yeah, but he hasn't
position.
I don't know. He's not like fucking murdering people to get more power, I guess. Or like he's trying to get his daughter to be queen, like to have a fucking great life and then have kids like, you know, that are royalty. I mean, as far as how things are back then, what a fucking great life. I mean, that's the highest station. So, I don't know. And like I said, I'm not saying he's a good guy, just a gooder guy than some of these other people. He's definitely creepy. I don't like the way he goes about things. So, I don't like his relationship with his daughter, but I don't like how, like, this weird smug look he kind of always has. Oh, and in that scene when Aegon was like, "Hey, we all know." I think I remember Otto like kind of going, "Huh? Is he gonna say it?" Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I still think he's a piece of shit.
Like I said, I'm not saying he's a good guy, but I think
he'll have Rhaenyra's kids killed.
Yeah. Well, if it comes, yeah, fuck, yeah, maybe he probably would do that. But Rhaenyra would Rhaenyra? Do you think Rhaenyra would kill Alicent's kids?
I don't think she would have.
All right.
I don't think she's spoiled and entitled and does whatever the fuck she wants, but I don't think she would have killed the children to secure her claim.
All right.
But I think obviously tensions are going to heat up and they're going to be killing each other for other reasons. But no, had Otto not fucking put her in the position to marry the king and have male heirs after Rhaenyra was already named heir, then none of this. This is pretty much all Otto's doing.
Yeah, I guess.
But we play an ugly game and you've showed me you have what it takes to win this game. And she's like, well, what about the king? And he's like, well, the king will forgive you. What else can he do? Because he hates confrontation and doesn't lay down any sort of law. Threatens to cut out people's tongues, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. But he tells her that her son was right, that roll game and getting Vhagar was worth 1,000 eyes, or 1,000 times the price, but he only has 2 eyes. So we got to get eyes from somewhere else. So now Rhaenyra's getting stitched up when Laenor arrives from doing who the fuck knows what. But it's morning now. The passage of time in this show was weird because the sun had just set by the time the kids went to bed. It was dusk when Aemon got the dragon, night when he returned, and we had the kid brawl. So meanwhile, he would have had to have gotten patched up right away, and Luke still has gauze up his nose. And Rhaenyra's just now getting stitched up. So this is either nights are very short or we decided maybe this episode was dark enough. Let's get some sunlight in this room. But
it was all right. Rhaenyra's blood runs thick, so it doesn't really bleed that much blood.
Yeah.
So she could have waited till morning to get it stitched up, when the maesters wake up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't want to make an emergency call. I mean, geez, the cost of that,
Yeah.
Whew, you don't want to go into medical debt.
Nope. Not with the Iron Blood Bank. So Laenor's like, I should have been here. And Rhaenyra's like, those should be the words of our house, which that actually was a good line. I enjoyed that line quite a bit. There's a lot of dialogue. Everybody else, that's the other thing, is people are talking about how good the dialogue is in this show. It's like dialogue in this show isn't that great, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's actually really bad. And some of what I think is really bad is stuff that people are fucking praising. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, he's like, you deserve a husband. I haven't been around, but I'm going to be here from now on. Carl's going back to fighting in the Stepstones, but I'm recommitting myself to this marriage in preparation for your ascension. And she's like, oh, I have other plans and I fucked my uncle. So why don't you go to the Stepstones is what she's thinking.
Maybe your words should be, I won't fuck whoever I want. That should be our words.
That's what he should have said. Yeah. It's like, but he's like, I've loved those kids like they were my own, but maybe I haven't loved them enough. And it's like, well, don't love them too much. Otherwise you're a Targaryen. And nobody wants that. So where was that? Oh, Alicent and the king are riding back and she tries to apologize. And he's like, we'll speak no more of it because I hate confrontation. And
he's like, just no talking. Give me blanket. Just need my blanket.
I've got you wine, so
now
you can
give me handy underneath blanket.
They've prepared wine for you, so you can sleep through the ship ride, so you don't throw up everywhere. Meanwhile, the wine's probably fucking poisoned because I'm a psycho.
So I wouldn't count that out from Alicent.
Not now, for sure. But it's like, Jesus Christ, this guy's been dying for so long. This thing that's killing him. What is it? I hope he dies of this thing that's been killing him. Like, if somebody like fucking takes him out, because it's like, why haven't you died by now? That's going to be fucking weird.
He lives through the whole thing.
I still think I think he might be
all
the night
5 seasons.
So Larys comes up to Alicent and he's all Weasley and he's like, it's an injustice what happened to your son. If you want an eye, I can get you an eye by 3:00. There are ways, Your Grace. You don't know. You don't want to know about them. 7 hells. I can get you an eye by 3:00 with eyelashes. She's like, thanks, but no thanks, creepy. But I will take a rain check because I'll probably need to have kids killed at some point. He's like, should I? Does that mean? Are you saying no, wink, wink, or are you saying no, no?
Are you sure? You don't want me to kill somebody? I mean, there's plenty of people to kill on this ship. Oh, come on. Let me kill someone.
Can I kill your husband? Can I take his good leg?
Can I kill you?
Please do. So Daemon comes to Rhaenyra as they watch the dragons and the ship leave. Meanwhile, yeah, Vhagar, she flies off with them because obviously she's got a new rider now. Mm-hmm. So, and this is where we get to some of the worst dialogue ever that everybody else says is so great. I hate this scene so much, Mike. She's there. Fire's such a strange thing. We owe everything that we have to it, and it costs us both what we love. And then there's like, fire is a prison. The sea offers escape. And then they fucking dip into the High Valyrian. And she's like, I need you, uncle. We've always been meant to burn together. Fucking gag me. That is some Twilight level shit. That's like, you're my own personal heroine, or whatever that fucking line was in Twilight. It's like, this is not good. This is not good. You people that think that's good dialogue, that is not good dialogue. That's some fucking real cheap. Like, you tell me it's not a soap opera, and then you tell me that you're okay with that dialogue. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Daemon looks around like while she's talking, Like, it almost seems like he's bored. And then he like sits down and like, oh gosh, these broads, so dramatic. You never gonna shut up?
You think it's a soap opera. So, yeah, and then here we go. So they've been speaking High Valyrian for a little bit now. And then Daemon goes, we can't get married unless Laenor were dead. And she says, I know. And guess what? That wasn't in High Valyrian. That's whatever the common language they speak is that we perceive as English. It's like, no, you fucking dopes. You said the quiet part out loud. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So we're at a shipyard with Daemon and his I solemnly swear I'm up to no goody hoodie. And he's paying Sir Carl to kill Laenor. And he's like, you're common born, no land or titles or anything like that. So, there's a place across the sea where it doesn't matter what your name is, only how much gold you got.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
So, and Carl's like, what are you asking me? What do you want from me? He's like, I want a quick death with lots of witnesses. And then there's some dialogue as we cut back towards.
It's like, wait, you want me to kill you?
Anyone in particular? Anyone in particular?
You're kind of vague. I mean, you came all this way. Should we make like a plan? I'm very confused still.
What's all this then? What's with this hood?
He was so vague though. Yeah. And then this whole plan's supposed to like go without a hitch or like. I get it for the story, but it was still fucking weird.
Yeah. So we cut back to Rhaenyra saying she's not going to be a tyrant and rule through terror, and Daemon's a tyrant only rules through terror. So we see this cat, this poor cat. Well, not an actual cat. I meant like a person, but this guy's strolling. Some rando strolling through the
Daemon's
entry hall.
Like, hey, how's it going? Oh, I've been practicing chiropractic medicine. Want me to show you?
Crack your bones. So runs up behind him and breaks his neck. And it's like if a king isn't feared, he's powerless. And then we see Carl in front of the hearth, in front of the driftwood throne, and Laenor strolls in and is all, "Boy, who let you in here? Who said you could hang out in front of my daddy's chair? I'm not even allowed in front of my daddy's chair." And then Carl's like, that's all he says. And then Carl's like, "You've always looked down on me." And then they start to face off. So it's like if you're playing a video game and you're forced into a dialogue interaction and you choose the last option at the end of the conversation to to not go through anything else in the dialogue tree. It's like, could have been like, "No, what are you doing?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm not doing much. I'm just hanging out. I can say the same of you. You've always thought little of me," and dialogue fight. You just go straight to the last one. I'm doing a speed run of this game. And then Rhaenyra says, "I do love Laenor," and Daemon responds, "Then grant him this kindness and set him free." So Carl draws his sword, and they start fighting, and Laenor's squire runs to get the guards as Carl gets Laenor up against the fireplace. So Corlys and Rhaenys come in as two guards are pulling a body out of the fireplace. And Rhaenyra says, "This will cost Corlys and Rhaenys their only remaining child, and the realm will whisper that I was somehow responsible." And Daemon's like, "Let them whisper," as Rhaenys is crying over the burnt body. "We'll know the truth and our enemies won't." And then...
Yeah. And now Jace and Luke are like, now my fake daddy's dead too.
So
my two dead dads.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because next we get the wedding of Daemon and Rhaenyra with all their kids watching, Mike, which is fucked up, especially with their bloody makeout part. And like Baela and Rhaena just lost their mom. Presumably from Luke and Jace's perspective, they just lost their dad, and Jace suspects both his dads.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, this whole thing is fucking stupid. God, it's dumb.
Cutting their fucking lips. That's going to hurt for a while. All right. Chapstick ain't going to help that. Again, this whole fucking thing. I remember talking about this on Game of Thrones, cutting your hand. Why? It hurts so bad to cut your hand and it takes forever to heal.
Yeah. And your hands get sweaty, and then it stings even more.
And this was gross anyway. Just like two people cutting their hands.
And we're supposed to applaud this. We're supposed to be into this, Mike. This is the part that we're supposed to be invested in, this fucking uncle fucking.
It was beautiful. They're finally together.
Yeah.
Dude, meanwhile, Damon's like, I just can't wait to be king.
So then we see a hooded guy running up to a boat on the shore that has another hooded guy in it. And it turns out it's Carl in the boat. And then the other person hops in the boat and it's, holy shit, it's Laenor with a shaved head. And they start rowing away.
Something to confess.
Yeah?
I didn't know that was Laenor.
You didn't?
No.
Sarah didn't either.
I'm like, I guess I wasn't paying attention because I was so distracted by that fucking wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, yeah, all right, Carl's going away. And I was a split second in my mind. I was like, who the fuck is this guy rowing him? I'm like, oh, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even think about it twice. I feel so stupid, like that I didn't like.
Did you catch it on the? Did you catch it on the rewatch?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I was like,
it was like, oh, I'm so stupid.
Yeah, before that reveal, when I thought they had really killed Laenor, I was like, well, in that case, I fucking hate Rhaenyra now. Because there's no reason for me to side with her over anybody. Like, yeah, the Greens are fucking awful, but like this whole episode showed that like she's basically everything that people fear that she would be. Like she does whatever she wants. She's completely chaotic and impulsive.
Dude, they kill some fucking rando innocent dude to do this.
Yeah.
Fucking Laenor's parents, Corlys and Rhaenys, think their son is dead, burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
And then Daemon's daughters think their uncle is fucking dead.
Yep.
Rhaenyra's kids think at least one of them thinks their dad is dead. Mm-hmm. And if not, it's still like their stepdad who was like nice and loving to them. Like, and they already have this thing that they're fuck Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Okay. What a selfish fucking cunt.
But that's it. That's the episode. I will say that upon rewatch, it is very obvious that they're planning on not killing Laenor. Like once you realize it and you watch it, it's definitely like Sixth Sense material. It's where once you know the twist, it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I didn't realize like, why the fuck did Daemon kill that dude? Did he have his killing hoodie on?
He didn't know his hoodie was down for that. But so as we wrap up, Mike, I'm like I said, I think this fucking whole bastard thing is like a really thin. The whole like the legitimacy of these children as an excuse for anything is bullshit to me. So it's like, and also the Strongs are lords, right? So they aren't. Wouldn't they not be bastards then? I mean, they're not. They're not just common people.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're. She wasn't married.
She wasn't married to him. So. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, that's. Well, I didn't forget that they weren't married. I forgot that was the reason. That's also another. That's also another reason that why a bastard is a bastard. Part of it, I thought.
I mean, maybe the show is also trying to tell us a little bit, like, yeah, there's these rules in Westeros, but they're all kind of bullshit. It doesn't actually fucking matter. It just matters who can gain power. I don't know who can manipulate that system first, best, or kill off people and then trick the commoners that to get behind, or even the other lords of the other houses, convincing them to get behind them. Because once one king's dead, and there's maybe I don't know, an heir that people don't necessarily agree with, well, then shit kind of goes into chaos.
But is there no adoption in Westeros or anything like that? Because
probably not. We've seen a few moon doors around, Tim.
Sure. I mean, we've seen bastards get legitimized in Game of Thrones. It happens to Ramsay, happens to Gendry. John's made the offer by Stannis, doesn't take it. So, I don't expect it to happen very often, but it's happened before then. Like all these people, and all of them it's lords with peasants, presumably. John is not, but Eddard or Ned has the story that he bangs some peasant woman that, and that's.
Yeah, but a lot of those were based on like lies. Like I get, well, no, they were, I don't know. I guess, cause like Gendry, I don't know, just wasn't known about in a sense. And what's his name? Who else did you name?
Ramsay.
Ramsay, I think that was known. That was like specifically like, yeah, he's a bastard, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess this.
Well, no, but based on Gendry's
Rhaenyra's lying to the whole fucking realm about, you know, who her children are.
But well, in Gendry's case, we know he's a bastard because of his last name.
Yeah.
That's the telltale bastards of Westeros. But
Jon Snow is a bastard, but
because his last name is Snow, and the story is that Ned, while on the campaign, fucked somebody.
Ned's such a fucking liar.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my Laenor or presumably Corlys can just like come out and announce like they're Valyrians. And that should, in theory, be good enough. Like, if we legitimately recognize them as part of our house, then they're legitimized. They're not bastards anymore, I would think. But, like...
I think that's already assumed, like, that they are saying that. They are telling people already.
Yeah.
You know, for the last 10 years, they're telling people, you know. But, yeah, I guess, yeah, people have eyes, so...
But I'm not saying, like, even if... Even if it was known that, even if everybody knew that these kids were bastards, they can still legitimize them. They can just say, no, you're a Valyrian now because this is our seat and we decide who's a Valyrian.
Yeah, sure. But that's still not going to make the, half of the lords in Westeros happy. Even though it should, because how many lies probably have gone on throughout the history of Westeros about, just like Corlys says, like that people don't truly give a fuck about blood. So they care about the names. They just care about what's going to be best for the realm. What the fuck's going to be best for them? So the lords of the houses, they don't give a shit as long as shit doesn't go into chaos and, somebody doesn't take over their land, their kingdom, whatever the 7 kingdoms are.
Sure. All right. Well, that was just me thinking, but the other thing I'm
just trying to think with you, so I don't know.
I was just thinking, like, if let's say Viserys had no children, like Viserys has no biological children, but he does have someone that he raised as a son. Like, let's say it's a distant relation or whatever, or somebody, he's fond of this boy. He raises him up as a son. If he named him heir, would anybody give a shit?
I think, yeah. I think people wouldn't be okay with that. I think a lot of people I think a lot of the lords and rulers of the 7 kingdoms are full of shit too, just like people are in fucking King's Landing. So they might pretend like blood matters when it really does. I don't know.
I'm just trying to.
I think people get caught in certain situations.
What I'm trying to figure out is how much has to do with the kids. Like, if anybody really cares that the kids aren't Laenor's, or if it's simply because people don't want Rhaenyra to be queen and they're just looking for excuses.
Probably looking for excuses.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of both. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, as we get into... I don't understand why Rhaenyra and Daemon's actions here wouldn't drive the Valyrians right to the High Towers. Like, unless they were going to commit this, like, Laenor fake death and pin it on someone on the High Tower side, on the green side. Because it's like, Rhaenys is already pissed off that Daemon didn't bring Laena home. So they were never on team whatever. They weren't on their team anyway. She doesn't like Rhaenyra. And she didn't want Laenor to marry Rhaenyra.
Yeah, but now their kids are, part of that marriage. So what are they going to do? I mean, they can't steal Daemon's kids away. I mean, I guess they could, and
they could
start a lot of shit. But I think I think that's going to make Corlys happy. It probably won't make well, maybe it would make Rhaenys happy, but probably not. I would think Corlys would probably be more happy with that because those two combined houses, that could probably work more for the realm because a lot of people already were kind of okay with Daemon taking over and being named heir. So it's a little like compromise in a way.
Yeah. I just feel like all of our kids are dead now, so and it's all because Corlys hitched his horse to fucking Daemon and Rhaenyra. So it's like maybe it's time to switch sides, especially if they're all rumoring that Rhaenyra killed our son.
We'll just concentrate on the grandkids now.
Yeah, I think if the Valerians are still on the side of Rhaenyra and Daemon, then I expect we're going to see something like Baela and Jace are together and going to get married to put Corlys's actual blood on the throne. That's the only real speculation I have that I can say without spoiling anything for you.
All right. Yeah, because I don't know if we're going to do a time jump. I don't know.
I know if we're going to do a time jump or not.
Don't tell me. Because I don't want to know. I kind of want to see how I feel about the next episode, if it makes a difference of knowing anything or not. Generally speaking, I don't like watching trailers to movies. I don't like watching next-ons for most television shows.
Sure.
I'm like, I'll just wait, see what happens, because a lot of times trailers and next-ons, they give too much away. I want the surprise.
All right. Well, with that, Mike, that's going to do it for the coverage of stuff. Let's get into the mailbag for stuff from last week. Very exciting to have the mailbag back after not having mail for 2 weeks.
Heck yeah.
The first message comes from, it's either Cruderbear or Crutterbear. I don't know how you actually pronounce most usernames. Hey guys, really enjoy your videos. I think you're very refreshing with your rants. Most other YouTubers just mostly praised House of the Dragon, so it's fun getting your perspective on it. Cheers from Germany, Mike.
All right.
Wir haben einen Freund in Deutschland.
Oh.
So, vielen Dank, Crutterbear.
That app's really helping you out.
It is. I think I said it right. Crutterbear can tell me if I said it wrong, but I should have said,
it's Crutterbear.
Hopefully I said we have a friend. Hopefully I said we have a friend in Germany. Thank you very much. But I might have said, hey, Crutterbear, go attend your wife. I don't know which. The next one comes from Delta Ghost, except the E in Delta and the O in Ghost are X's. So that's very, very cool. It's very gamer, trendy gamer styling of writing that. This is kind of he left us several comments, so I kind of smushed some together. I'm probably going to make a few comments, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I think if you can't put together the fact that there was a time skip and what's going on and who's who by the first 5 minutes of the episode, or at least to where Rhaenyra is standing with her three children, lover, and husband, I don't know how you watch Game of Thrones because it's not that complex. Why do they need to spell shit out to dum-dums who don't get it? So that's in response to me last week saying, if you don't watch the next-ons and you weren't aware that there was a time jump, that might be hard to follow for the first 5 minutes or so before you get caught up to speed, which could probably be distracting. And I still feel that way, but, and then he goes on to say, keep up the vids. I'm happy I found your channel so I can get a completely different perspective than my own. I look forward to watching the rest of your content. So Delta Ghost, thank you very much. That means a lot to us.
Yes.
Todd Jr., a frequent contributor to the show. We love you, Todd. I feel the same way as you do, Tim. The after the episode stuff with the showrunner's explanation seems to detract from what the episodes portray. And Vanessa Lore, in a similar support, couldn't agree more about the behind the scenes. They often write by leaving it open to interpretation, and I like that. So then they give an explanation and another person contradicts that, and I'm scratching my head. I don't watch them anymore. She says, I would like some more.
Neither do I. So We're on the same page. Because after we talked about it last episode, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it anymore.
Not gonna do it.
No, I don't want it.
He doesn't want it. He's not interested in that.
It is known.
She says, I would like some more humor, but this is basically a Shakespearean tragedy. There are no heroes. And again, I don't think there needs to be heroes, but there does need to be people that you have a connection to, as opposed to them teasing a connection or somebody to empathize with and then immediately removing them from the show. So you're just left with all the shitheads. This last episode was pretty good, but Miguel, director guy, is just obsessed with childbirth. Kind of tired of it, to be honest. Put in the scene with Damon hugging his daughters and cut that one out. And then finally, not all mail is good mail, Mike. David Rossi writes in, whiners on the couch.
Oh,
that was it.
Actually, I kind of like that.
That is pretty good. I mean, he doesn't know the definition of whining, but I do appreciate the wordplay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So,
yeah, Mike is not on board with doing the next-ons anymore, so I'm going to do that on my own, separate from the podcast. That'll still be its own video. I will get that up later this week. And then, hopefully next week we're back on board after this. And again, it's only been the last 2 episodes that we've been a little more harsher on. So hopefully it turns it around, because again, the show's not bad. It's not Westworld, but hopefully it doesn't become Westworld. Right. I think that's where we're at right now.
Oh, I don't think so. I think it'd be pretty hard to get to the level of Westworld, at least for me. Like, if this was on any level of Westworld, I would have told you I'm done with this. And we're not covering anything, and at least the show. There's no way I could go fucking 20 weeks in a row.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for this episode. Until next time, I'm Tim.
And I'm Mike.
And now our watch is ended.
See you next week.
Don't get your dick chopped off. And don't let Matt Smith come up from behind you and snap your neck and throw you in a fireplace.
Don't fuck your uncle.
Don't fuck your uncle.
Go get some therapy.
Is that a shirt? Would you guys like merch that says "The Watchers on the Couch"? Don't fuck your uncle, because I'll make that shirt. Let me know. We don't even need to brand it with our logo. If you just want a shirt that says "Don't fuck your uncle," we'll sell it. Yeah. Mike, what do you think, Mike? Do you think
don't fuck your family?
Yeah. Do you think we should attach our brand strongly to the opinion that you shouldn't fuck your uncle?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
We might alienate a lot of people, especially our southern listeners. All right, that's it.